2:30.
Bring your historic book.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I see examples similar, so I'm pretty good on that. Just the,
Oh, the benches, what did they come in?
They're supposed to be here. Did the benches come today?
saving that house.
Did they get delivered? Maybe tomorrow for the park. Brian said they were supposed to come, I think, this week.
This week they're coming?
Maybe it's next week. I find the check.
At least they cut the check.
Okay.
I just wanted to see them. Are we off? We're up? Gentlemen?
All set? Yeah, it's time. Okay. We'll call this meeting to order. Roll call, please.
Tomorrow. Day.
Here.
Lee.
Here.
Larson.
Here.
Edwards.
Here.
Zimnock.
Here.
Okay. Next agenda item is citizens' time. Any citizen that has some comments to say that is outside of their COA, if they're here for a COA, it's the time for them. Looks like we have nobody remarking for citizen time. We'll move on to the minutes approval. We got the
I make a motion to approve the Architectural Review Board regular meeting minutes from March 16, 2016.
Second.
I got a motion and a second. Now, I guess information for Denise, do the work session minutes wrap into it, or is that a separate item that doesn't need to be approved? Okay. Okay, so I have a motion and a second. Anybody have any corrections they want to throw in there beforehand? Okay, we'll go for a vote on it. All in favor of approving minutes for March 16th, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay, good. And I guess at this point I need to mention that we did have a work session that day as well. That will be submitted with the, however the documentation is organized.
Just what you have there. There's really no minutes for the work session. It's just
That page. Yeah, the attendance and the topic. That's submitted with the, how's that submitted? Is a separate item? Or as wrapped in with the ARB information? Okay. So it'll be wrapped up with the ARB information. Okay, we'll move on to the certificate of appropriateness.
For the Copper Cricket.
We got Copper Cricket first.
Ladies, you're up.
Either mic's good. Oh, that one's on. Battery juice dead from that one.
Okay. Do you want them to walk us through what they want to do? Or?
Did you want
Yeah.
to start with the color selection or signs, or we have a couple of things that we're asking for?
Yeah. I guess, let's see how your packet was organized. I think the signs were first. So we'll go with the
So we're
signs.
going to be renting the space for the police department currently.
Mm-hmm.
And we're asking to put 2 signs on that building. One above, directly above the door, that's 19 inches by 11 foot. I guess when the daycare center was there, they had a lot of bugs up there, so they left a lot of holes, which we're trying to make some lemonade here. So we'd like to cover those up with a sign that has our name on it, the Copper Cricket. And then when you take down the sign for the police department, there's going to be some discoloration where that sign was as well. So we'd like to put a sign that says, with our logo on it, or, well, no, with the cricket on it. And just that says consignment shop. We contacted D&D Signs in Warrenton. He suggested this MDO board in white with black lettering. And that's about it.
Okay.
And I believe the measurements for the smaller sign is on there as well.
Yeah. It is
44 by
36 by 44. Okay. And then,
inches on both of them. I think the 36 feet is kind of
and then the third sign,
Oh, and
it's just the,
a sandwich board that would be brought in,
okay.
put out and brought in every day.
Denise, and you said Marshawn said the sizes were fine?
Under the current sign ordinance, it is not. However, once the new sign ordinance is approved, it will be okay.
Okay,
And we have a
So-
public hearing for that sign ordinance this coming month in June. We're going to have a joint hearing with the PC and town council.
right. And I guess to give you a clear understanding, what we're voting on today is just the appearance of the sign. Of course, the zoning committee would be approving for the size of the sign and everything else.
Okay.
But we're also approving this sign, assuming that the sizes are going to be what you're saying. Because if if it was twice the size of the house, of course, we'd be going, well, it's a little bit too big.
Right.
It wouldn't fit. So just an understanding for you guys. When we approve something, it's strictly for aesthetic approval. It still has the zoning approval that needs to go for sign placement and whatever else is associated with the code.
okay. Next is the door and shutters, right?
Yeah,
Is that what we're going?
The colors, since it's a monochromatic building, and I understand it's a police department, we're gonna be in the back, retail, so we'd like to make it stand out a little bit, thinking that black shutters will really define the windows and bring it out. And I know we submitted a color that's not in the historical chart. I did exhaust all the colors in that chart to try to find the best color for the door. My problem was matching a good color to that roof, which is a reddish brown. So the complementary color of the reddish brown would be green. So we went with the green. It's hard to tell from a little chip there, but I did a sample here. This is 2 coats of the tansy green. It's just a warm, earthy color. It's a little bit brighter than that one, than the historical color, but it's still in the same family.
Doesn't look like the apple green that the printer made.
No, my printer is not very. So I did a little sample here just to show you.
Yeah,
This is 2
that's fine,
coats of
right?
the tansy green. And I can give
Yeah,
this
that's
to you.
subtle.
if you
Yeah,
want.
I think so.
It's
Okay,
very similar to the green that is on the historical chart, just maybe a shade brighter.
yeah. I think it looks
With all
good.
that wood in the front for the wheelchair ramp.
Right. Something to pop out.
Kind of, yeah, it
Yeah.
kind of blocks a lot of
Yeah, it's not this line.
Anything else? Okay. So they're gonna do the black, right? Okay, so I make a motion to approve zoning permit ZP 2016-017 for the Copper Cricket for the 3 signs as described in their application, and for the door paint color to be tansy green and the shutters to be tricorn black.
I second. Oh, my apologies, ma'am.
No, go ahead, please.
I second.
Okay, we got a motion and a second. Opens up discussion, last chance for discussion if you didn't get enough information. Okay. I guess we'll vote on this then. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Looks like we're good.
Good to go. Thanks for coming, ladies.
Thank
you.
you. Have a good evening.
Yeah, let's hit Sean, because Lee Berry's not here.
Sean and then Ivan's here for the shed too.
Yeah, we'll hit them before Lee Berry. We're going to rearrange the agenda so that we can hit the people who are here first. Not an issue. I don't think we don't need a vote on that, do we?
Okay.
Okay.
So
Let me
next
get
is
my
the
act
shed.
together here. I gotta get this together again. So I don't lose these chips.
When we're done here, we're gonna skip the next one. Right here.
Yeah, we'll hit Green Hill first, because that should be a quicker
Yeah.
one.
Quick comment. I think Marshall, the setback has to be 5 feet, not 4 feet.
Shed.
You can ask Denise, but I think that's what she said.
Let me see here. There it is.
To the back one.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll get this organized. I am like losing some pages.
Okay.
There we go. I'm back in business.
How are you doing today, sir?
Doing well, thank you.
You have that beautiful Shelby that you were making?
Yeah.
Oh.
Thought that was the house.
I know, that is a nice car.
Okay, we're going to go to agenda item 4.3, and that's the shed at Green Hill Crossing.
Miss Denise, does the setback have to be 5 feet?
Yes, it does. That was the one contingency on our zoning and planner, Marchant Snyder's condition on approving this, is the setback has to be 5 versus the 4 that's in the application. Other than that, he saw nothing else wrong with that application.
Is that something you're okay with, Ms.
Yeah,
Wright?
that's fine. Beautiful.
Okay. Anybody have any questions on?
Make a motion to approve zoning permit ZP 2016-018 for Ivan Zupan at 14942 Green Hill Crossing Drive, with the stipulation that the back setback be 5 feet.
A second?
Okay, I got a motion and a second. Anybody have any questions for the discussion period? Okay, we'll go right into vote. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Looks like you got a pass.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Enjoy the added space.
Next. Our next subjects. Shauna, you throwing her to the wolves over there.
I think first off, we all want to say thank you for keeping that building in town. I think
Thank
that's
you
definitely
very, very
something that
much.
we all are very happy for, and we want to thank you all for doing that and moving that for us and allowing it to be now being used as a business and a small business as that. I think that's something we're all very thankful for. And we're, thank you.
Appreciate it. Today was a great day. We just lowered it onto the new foundation.
Did you?
Oh, awesome.
Right.
Yeah.
So the dirt's going to go in the hole next?
It's a process.
I know. Amen to that. Okay.
Okay, I guess if you want to walk us through
Okay.
what you want to do.
First, I guess we'll touch on the paint color. We'd like to change the paint color from the blue to Rycroft pewter, which was out of the book. Bottom, on the bottom of the page.
Roy Croft Pewter. Okay, this one. Okay, it's right here.
Second page lower.
Yeah, the second page, the lower palette.
Yep. Okay.
Front door would be the Roycroft red, copper red. Trim would be the Roycroft vellum. And the weathered shingle, we could use as a stain color for the decking if that's preferable.
Okay.
Then we would be putting decking on the west side of the house, where the former family room addition was when we took that off. So that'll be decking of pressure treated and then stained. And then covering that, and then to the back point of the house to the north, it would be a pergola.
Okay.
And I attached a photo of something similar that it would look like to attach off the house onto
Oh, yeah. Here.
posts
Okay.
to give us a little bit of shape. Right now it'd be crushed pebble or small stone under the pergola. Eventually, we'd like to do pavers, but budget a little constricts us a little bit with that right now.
What,
Okay.
what kind of stones? Pea gravel?
Pea
or-
gravel, yes. And then we'd have to put our picnic tables on.
Okay.
And that's the tannish color pea gravel, right?
Right.
Okay.
The front steps, we would have to do a ramp off, I think we need to go off the side, to a landing with steps going up to the front door. Eventually, we'd like to change that as well further down the road after the ground settles, and we can replicate something similar to where it was sitting when it was the police station.
Okay.
A little more raised up with, not concrete, but maybe the pavers again. But for now, we're going to have to try and just get by with a ramp and the platform with stairs to get in the front. And that will be pressure treated as well.
Okay.
And stained. And stained.
And then off the back deck, right?
Off the back, this is kind of where just our employees and loading deliveries will be brought in. Again, decking, pressure treated wood, and then stained.
Okay.
We do have a walkout basement, so we have access through to the basement from the outside and the inside. So we have storage in the basement, and that, it's not in the picture, but it's going to be pretty much under that deck, that back deck.
So you just access
Yeah.
down there.
Sure.
Okay.
Landscaping, we're going to add back in some trees. In the front there, crepe myrtles, surrounded by some golden mountain spirea, few boxwoods along the side near the driveway. Skyrocket junipers on each corner in the back and then off the pergola. A red maple towards the baseball field corner, and another crepe myrtle or in the area of where the fireplace used to be.
Okay.
All right. Any other questions?
We don't have anything for signs, right?
Not at this time. We were just going to put in
Like a
those big
banner
picture
up.
windows
Yeah.
our Cookies and Cream logo.
Okay.
Would we need approval for one of those flag signs that's removable? Saying open,
No, I don't think so, right? Like we put out at the museum a flag that just says open. When they put the flag out at the museum.
a temporary, something we can pull out at the end of the day.
I would have to refer to our current sign ordinance, but it's something that I'll reach out to you this week and give you clear direction on.
Okay.
I don't,
we do.
yeah, I don't believe so, but I don't want to steer you wrong.
Okay.
So let me look into that this evening, and I'll reach out to you tomorrow and let
Okay.
you know about it.
I do know the sandwich board signs, you can do that with.
Yes, yes.
Is our logo in our picture windows considered a sign?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Okay, so we need to come back for that.
You are permitted. It's the way that we restructured our sign ordinance is actually very easy to navigate now. Unfortunately, I don't have a copy on me, but I'll make sure that I get a copy to you. So it's broken up in between districts. So being in a B1 district, we will be able to see B1, and then it will give you everything that you are permitted to within the B1 district.
Okay.
So I'll get that to you again later this evening, if not tomorrow, to show you what you're allowed to use. Now, that is going to be changing here shortly because we're going to be going into a joint public hearing next month with the PC as well as the town council, and we're going to be adopting a new sign ordinance which just limits the number of signs within a business, because currently it tells you how many of each one you're allowed to have, but it doesn't tell you an overall number of them. So that's the only thing that's really going to be changing on top of some wording that our attorney has told us to change. So, but I will get you a current copy of what we are having and then what we're drafting as well within tonight or tomorrow morning.
Okay, and I assume those folding signs fall in that as well?
Yes, yes.
Like the sandwich boards that
Yeah,
you're taking out?
sandwich boards,
Okay.
say something else if we needed to put outside the building for
Like a
special.
special flavor of the month, whatever.
Exactly.
Just
Yep.
saying.
Suggestion.
Just maybe a suggestion.
I got my first 6 tubs of ice cream today, though.
Ooh.
Yay, that's
We're rolling
Very
along.
exciting.
Yes.
Excellent. Well, without further ado, I make a motion to approve zoning permit number 2016-015 as stated within their COA.
Second.
I second the motion.
I withdraw my second so Nicole can get it.
Okay, I got a motion and a second. It's opened up for last-minute discussions. Kind of jumped in on me real quick. I missed, was the pergola going to be painted,
Stained,
stained?
yes.
Uh,
Treated then, right? Or no? Yeah.
Just a
No,
natural stain?
Yes.
Not
or-
going to be one of the colors that you,
No, yes, right? The stain's going to be the
The stain can be the weathered,
weathered shingle.
yeah, because that's not identified on here, and
Oh, okay. So, can you walk me through the
Yeah,
the
right
color
here.
palette again? You have
The
the,
stain color is weathered shingle.
okay.
but it
Yeah.
say for the pergola.
So-
It just says for the,
I think it
So the,
it was all over the deck.
the shingles,
yeah, so I
the
just
walls of the
wanted to
house
confirm that.
are going to be this darker color
Correct.
here?
Right across.
Okay, so the trim around the windows, which is now white, is going to be
That one,
vellum.
the other white.
So,
Lighter color there.
The lighter one.
Oh,
It
okay.
shows it's white on the.
So what
what's
is it?
added
Is it
is
this-
that the
this color
pergola
here, this
is the
color
weather
right there?
shingle.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Front door is the red.
Oh, so it's all kind of like all.
Yes, it's all
Yes,
this one's
yeah.
house.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's that red color there, and then what was this?
And I guess
This is the stain.
The stain color.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Try and match that as best to that color and stain.
Okay, so we have walls, trim, which is the cream color, and then the decking will be, now is that, when you say the decking, is that the horizontal decking?
Yes.
Okay, so what about any vertical railings and such?
We could make it the same color, if that's preferable.
Okay,
The deck and the pergola, right?
so, okay, so the horizontal surfaces that you step on are this darker, this,
Yes.
Weathered shingle.
weathered shingle, okay. Yeah, I'm not gonna, I think this is gonna be fine. I would probably propose to make it match the window trim, because I was, when you first said
light.
pressurized, I'm thinking, oh my goodness, on one of these, just the natural stain wood deck off the back of everyone's houses, which I would was hoping that wasn't the case, and I see that it's not.
Yeah, because that wasn't identified. It
Excellent.
wasn't decking and everything
Save
else.
this awesome period house. I couldn't imagine that you were not gonna put a period.
John,
like
you
that.
want the deck to be this color white?
Yeah, well, okay, well, see, here's the
Or
deal.
the railing.
Or the railing.
The railing?
The railing.
No, ooh, somebody's.
Who's doing it?
No, I'm just noticing here, like, for example, this we handed today happens to be a same period type house, and the fence is matching the trim, which was a typical thing. I mean, they didn't have the womanization process that we have now for pressurized lumber.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is sort of a paint, this stain is kind of a painty, it comes across as kind of a paint, doesn't it?
Well, we could probably get a stain very similar to that color.
So they're going to use stain, not paint.
Yeah, it was going to be
Okay.
stain.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, this is a side.
Yeah.
Okay, look, I guess my only issue was when this house was built, and you are restoring it to its formal glory, they didn't have stained wood. They didn't have pressure treated wood, so they painted it. Okay, so typically it would be painted to match the trim of the house, such as this railing in this particular example. So I was just thinking, if it's not too, I don't think it would be too much of that cream.
My only
color.
thing is that's great for a house, but this is going to be a business, so they have to maintain it and wash
Yeah,
it.
the wear and tear that's going to be
Yeah.
going on the deck. I think
think it's
it'll
gonna
look
be
better
valid.
as a stain.
Handprints and touches
White.
and it's white and little kids and ice cream and,
Yeah, it's going to
Yeah.
definitely look better with the stain.
yeah.
White paint would be definitely more labor.
Yes.
To maintain and keep it up.
Yeah, that's up to you all. I mean, I throw it out there. It'd be
No,
more
I
very
get like for a
consistent
fence,
to be
but
yeah.
for,
painted,
they
and
didn't
use
typically
the
have
railing and
decks
so
back
forth.
then.
Obviously, the staining and the darker color for the horizontal is appropriate, and as a good choice, and I would support that. I would just think it would be a better
So are you
solution.
Are you referring to white as just the railings
Yeah.
for the front?
Yes, the verticals, and yes, the railing,
Okay.
as opposed to the, I'm not talking about the
Because
deck.
this deck,
I disagree.
the pergola,
And the pergola as well. Again, they wouldn't have stained it.
So the
They didn't have
pergola,
stain.
in the period of time was a brown.
Correct.
It was a dark
Right.
That was a very
Because that
typical
pergola
thing, yeah.
is a restoration of fairly close to what the pergola was when it came off the side, it was brown.
yeah, it was brown.
So this is not brown, but it's a dark color.
Right. But again, I'm just proposing paint as opposed to stain, or a stain that is
Just the burnt.
paintish, you know, I mean,
Right.
they make stains nowadays that come across as paints.
This stain is probably more of a latex paint. It's kind of like the stuff that I've used on the townhouse I had previously. They called it a stain, but it was more of a paint than a stain.
It doesn't stain. Actually, I've used some myself. I'm not happy with the results.
We just
Yeah,
used
well, you
it
get
on
it
our
out.
deck at
Peel
work.
off, it's like.
No, then that's
years
not
of
the right
weather
color.
on
I
it.
know exactly which.
No, it's stain. It was sold to me as stain, you know, heavy.
We just used, at my office, we just used tinted colored stain, and it just adds a little hue of the color to the wood.
Excellent. Well, Chairman, without further ado, I'd like to go ahead and amend my motion. I'm going to start.
Just a moment.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm sorry. Marchant, our zoning and planning administrator, had a few recommendations for the board as well. Regarding the foundation, he recommended that the board request that the applicant paint the foundation the same color as the building. He also recommended that because of the additions being removed, that the missing cedar shake shingles be replaced to match the existing or the painted color that you approve of.
We're going to
Yeah.
put shingles back up
Yes.
and repair the ones that were sun damaged on the east side.
Yeah.
Yes. So he was just saying that you.
What's the foundation going to be? Is it
The cinder
Cinder
block
block.
right now, but
It's cinder block, but they're hardening it, which is like this.
yeah,
Right? So
The
it
same
comes up-
gray
It's
color.
waterproof, and so they take the.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
And they waterproof it, so it's hard, so it looks almost like a stucco, but I mean, it's very.
it's the concrete gray, same as the
Right,
brick
the
color.
concrete gray.
So he wants that.
Whose
The
recommendation?
only challenge I have, and I probably have to talk to Marchant about that, is a wood paint is gonna be different paint.
Concrete. It'd have to be a
Concrete.
Oh.
concrete stain.
Right, it's, I mean,
Yeah, I
it's
see
gonna
what you're
look great
saying.
when we first spray it, but then a year
peel
later,
right
you're
off.
gonna have, I
It's
mean,
going to peel.
it's gonna peel off, 'cause I would think.
Right.
We could try and
I mean, I
match
don't
it
know.
with a concrete stain.
I think
Yeah,
he was probably
just
thinking
saying
it was.
match with the color.
to
You
the
can
house.
use concrete plate.
Different. Okay.
Well,
You can get, the more concrete paints, masonry paints, in the same
I'll
color.
put my.
I'm just thinking that he's probably thinking it's just going to be cinder block.
Yeah, I don't think he.
I believe
I
understands.
so.
don't think he
Yeah.
knew that you were going to do the,
The margin.
yeah.
Because when it sat up on the hill, it had rock or something.
Yeah, it had all this
Along the line.
stuff
Right.
around it, yeah.
Although it seems like you're gonna have a decent amount of landscaping around it also.
Yeah, so a lot of it would be
And with
covered.
the decks, you're not gonna see.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
much.
you probably would only see maybe this driveway side. We still have grading to do, so it's gonna come up a little.
I think you're right with what he was thinking.
Yes, I think he just thought it was going to be cinder block. I didn't think he realized that you were going to do the fancy cover over it.
Indeed.
Although, actually, when you do that, it sometimes just comes across as concrete, just gray concrete, which is also not as exciting as,
I think, like you said, it's going to be covered by the landscaping and,
Yes, I agree. I'm going to amend the motion. I'm going to start over so it's nice and clean for Ms. Denise, so she doesn't have to worry about it. I'd like a motion to approve zoning permit number 2016-015, as is stated in the COA, with the additional statement that the pergola stain color match weathered shingle or similar for stain.
right? Everything else is in here. Okay, I second.
Okay, I got a motion and a second. Got a clarification for Denise. It's understood that the repairs for the shingles and that, I guess, did you want that included in this packet? Because-
Marchant was just saying that if it's stated, it has to be done, so,
Yeah.
to replace those shingles. And that they match whatever paint color they're selecting.
So I think just to wrap this all in one, we probably need to include that
Just
any of the
amend it to
repairs,
say-
will have the same type shingles, which is kind of what we've mentioned within the minutes here.
The same type shingles.
Yeah.
Third time's a charm. I make a motion to approve zoning permit 2016-015 as is within the COA with the additional statement. The pergola to stain color to be weathered shingle or similar for stain, and that all shingles to be the same type and color as currently on the roof.
No, on the
Oh,
side.
on the side of the house, excuse me. Scratch on the side.
Subsequent shingle will be,
Yeah.
That's a whole other color, right?
All right, you got it, Denise? Mm-hmm. Okay.
okay, I think I got a motion and,
Second, yeah.
okay, we'll give that second to Susan. Okay, last chance for discussion. You looked a little puzzled there, John, so.
I'm going to speak against the motion, just because we thank you for all you're doing, and he's great, okay? The pergola and the decking and the railings all being the same color. It's a similar color to the actual walls. I mean, it's different, but it's a darker color.
What?
It's actually more brown.
It's brown.
That's
That's not a good, that's not
I
a
know, it's fine.
depiction.
But I'm just, my fear is that it's going to be not enough contrast. I think that it's going to be just, just dark. I mean, you can have the flooring and the rails and the pergola all the same color.
I think it's going to look like wood.
I just think that it would be a little more in keeping to have the window trim reflected in and brought into the decking and possibly the pergola. So, I'll be honest with it, it's okay. It's cool.
You got your comments, and the members can think about that. So we all set then? I think we're all set for a vote then. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed? One. Okay, well, you got a majority vote on that, so it passes.
When are we opening? Okay, that's really not,
Before the end of June?
Woods today and drywall's finishing up on Sunday. So we're moving pretty fast. Start electric and plumbing next week.
By the end of June?
before you go.
Yay. I want to walk through it before I move, so yes, definitely. Have a
Thank
good
you,
evening.
guys.
Bye.
Okay, that leaves the last COA, which is the iron fence for Newbury.
I'm ready to hear this.
So what is this, a 4-foot black iron fence to match existing fence?
Since Marchant isn't here, Denise, could you kind of give us an understanding of his opinion on working with them and what has been put together?
Mr. Snyder said they are currently in compliance in regards to that last meeting. The front fencing was painted to match the fence right beside it. They decided not to remove that back existing fence and move it to the front. They decided to keep it there instead, and they removed the portion that was requested by the board to remove, and there is now landscaping there.
If I'm not mistaken, at our last meeting, I believe we said for it to be, when we spoke about this, to be the same height, design, color. And if I'm looking at this 4.2A, Mr. Day brought this up to us at the beginning of the meeting. That bottom picture, or page 22 in our packet, it's that design and type. It looks similar, but is not similar. For instance, on the left-hand side, you have, what you call those, spokes at the top? And then on spikes, and then on the one on the right isn't, and then the circles are higher up than the one on the left, and look to be different in size and dimension. I don't know if that, what else is. Yeah, I don't believe that's what we said.
Did we honestly think that they were going to comply and try to fix the issue best of
Well, they tried.
are?
They did take out the fence where the bushes are, and they did paint this one, but I'm just giving benefit of the doubt that
No.
maybe they misunderstood. Because I think, if I'm not mistaken, the purpose was to take the
To match the
fencing from the
front.
back,
So
which
it matched.
matches
To
the
match.
rusted one, right? And then paint the rusted one, and so the whole front matches. And then they could take this one on the left if they wanted, and they can move that to the
Right.
back.
Absolutely,
That's correct.
absolutely.
So maybe they just misunderstood, I don't know. They're trying to be nice.
I hear you.
So anyway, that's what I got to
I
say.
mean, I think I made the
How
motion
much you
last
said.
time, so my,
All or nothing is what you said.
I mean, no, stop asking for forgiveness and ask for permission before you do it.
Absolutely. I feel like they're just going to just keep
The fence along the front needs to match.
Yeah,
Match in height, design,
Design, absolutely.
color.
yeah.
I mean, that means everything to the last detail within spikes, spokes at the top, the circles and dimension. I mean, we want it to be a uniform fence
Absolutely.
along our streetscape. I would
Absolutely.
agree.
So what do we do? Do we deny it, or do we just?
Absolutely.
We deny it. You kind of said that Marchand said it was in compliance, but it's not fully in compliance. And that's what we'll have to do is shoot this down and have them throw something back at us.
Right, because we want all that along the streetscape to match.
The whole front edge needs to match. And with them taking out that one piece and putting the shrubbery in, that gives them a break, so the side doesn't need to match.
So they put
So
a
the
Band-Aid on
sides,
it.
so the side, I would say, I would be appropriate with, but that front piece, it needs to match all the way across the face, because it's fine detail, but it is
It's not what was
mismatched.
asked, and it just kind of,
Right.
Yeah, I've walked
Okay.
past it before, walking to Walmart, and I noticed it.
Yeah,
I see it in the mornings when I go for my walks, so I noticed that it hadn't been done, or,
Okay,
so.
so we don't have to make a motion or anything, right?
Well, what we're looking at is a tabled, so we just need to vote on whether we approve it or not. And of course,
If it's been tabled, then you have to deal with it within like 60 days.
60 days, and this is it.
This,
No, we have 30 more days. It was tabled at the last meeting.
No.
It was tabled 2 meetings ago.
Was it really?
Yeah.
Okay, so,
so what happens if they don't have it done by our next meeting?
No, you have
No,
to
they,
vote on it.
oh,
this
we have to
meeting.
vote
Yeah,
on
we
it
got to
now?
vote on it now.
Oh, okay.
And what we could do, if everything was okay, we could modify this with the conditions, approve it with the conditions of what they have in place, right? But they're not meeting, from our discussion here, what we feel was our contingent
right.
Okay.
so we got, in a matter of speaking, the recommendation, just off of our discussion, which will come up and vote, is that we deny this COA. And then they got to either remove it or kick back another COA, and with the adjustments that we've kind of stated publicly here.
Okay.
Okay. So I'll make a motion to deny zoning permit 2016-004 because of the fact that we asked for the fence along the front of the property to all be matching in size, height, style, and all details, and it does not.
I second.
Okay, I got a motion and a second. Anybody want to, last words? Okay,
No, it's just, is her description satisfactory of your rationale? Because whenever you fail something, you want to be very explicit with our rationale.
Well, there's two different types of
Correct,
fences.
and that's, exactly. And we gave them the option, I mean, we suggested, it was just a suggestion to use the fence in the back.
Yes, and they denied
See,
doing
that
that.
matches in every single way.
right, it was
Denied doing that.
They just can't match the fence. I guess they
Right.
can't find that from whatever their supplier
But
is.
they have some on their own property.
Yeah.
I think it is probably,
And they
just
wanna
want to make sure
rem-
that it's
and I
spelled
remember-
out clearly, and I guess it is.
And I remember from our last discussion that we gave them the option if they wanted to replace the whole thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah, just make it
Put brand new
match,
fence.
period,
Right.
match.
Just
We
make it
don't-
all match.
It just needs to match. yeah.
Right.
So whatever they want to do there.
Okay, I think we're good.
She's good, yeah.
Okay. All in favor of denying this, as stated in the motion, say aye.
Aye.
And anybody opposed? No, this is across the board. Then this will be denied, disapproved. Okay, that brings us to the next agenda item, which is the town council update.
So, I don't know if any of you are aware, I think Connor's aware, that the town manager is stepping down effective June 30th, thank you, I couldn't remember the date. So we will be having a search out for a new town manager. And really, I think that's all.
Ready for some questions?
Yeah.
How'd the SEC meeting go? I don't know if you got any feedback.
I didn't go. I just have read the emails that people were upset that they couldn't speak.
Yeah, I was there, so I can give a little bit of a briefing
go
on
ahead.
it, but I don't have any feedback, so I didn't know if you had feedback to
No.
throw out there. We did have some good representation from, I thought Bob Weir did really well with his supporting documentation on what's been approved and what hasn't, and how this is totally neglecting any of this other information that was not put in place. There was a lot of people there discussing their stuff, so they did let it roll over a half hour, but then the janitors were pretty much shutting down, saying, you only had this till 10. And they shut the lights off on me, standing up, saying the aesthetics are, I pretty much tried to go on the basis that let's look at it in the sense of government funding. You have a federally recognized organization, Journey Through Hallowed Ground, who influenced the design of the VDOT bridges that are going up. And you're going to have and the only thing you have to approve on the hybrid is to keep it underground until you get to this point, which they put extra money in to all of a sudden throw up poles.
It's true.
It doesn't make sense, but I was rambling real quick trying to get that information in, and I don't know if I got that across to them.
You can always send an email in to get it on the record.
And that was just because, they turned the lights off on me.
Yeah. That's a statement, isn't it?
Yeah, they shut the meeting down, so.
The town council has just been spending a lot of time on the budget. That's basically what we've been doing, because the budget needs to get approved. So.
And that's what the special meeting was
Yes,
on Monday?
yeah.
Okay.
No, that was not what the special meeting was for.
I didn't know if that was a public meeting or not. I know it was
It started out
announced.
as public, and then we went into closed session.
Okay. Well, those are all the questions I have for you. Anybody else? Okay, then we'll move on. Planning Commission update?
Planning Commission update, we'll be having our joint public hearing on June 6th with the town council to move forward with the sign ordinance rewrite due to some recent court rulings that had came down, even though we had just adopted a new sign ordinance a couple months ago. Our legal team had came to us and wanted to make some changes to it, so we went ahead with their advice, and we're having a joint public hearing on June 6th with the town council. Then we're also working with the Berkeley Group and Mr. Coffey in regards to working with our zoning within the town and what is permittable and not permittable within the town. So we're working with him on that. He was not at our last meeting, unfortunately, but he said he would be at the next one. But he took all of our recommendations that we had and is looking at them and going to be presenting to us at our next meeting in June. Chick-fil-A is coming along nicely.
Yes.
Chick-fil-A is coming along nicely. And then Cookies and Cream, as you all know, because we had them here earlier, are working. And like they said, they should be up by end of June, if I'm not mistaken. And then the PC should be getting the keys to their new building at the end of this week, if I'm not mistaken. Mr. Jamie, the contractor, is absolutely phenomenal
For the police department, yeah.
Yeah, he should be, I believe, giving us the keys on this coming Friday, if I'm not mistaken. So everything's working along nicely.
Yeah. Into the night.
Yes, they've been working very hard to get that done.
It looks great. I don't know if you've had the opportunity to go in.
I've
or-
been peeking. I think they see me walking by, they're like, who's this girl? Looking through the window and trying to see what I can see.
Any questions?
Any questions?
Nope.
Okay, that's good. Thank you, Connor. Okay, new business. No new business. Like I said, I kind of gave my little bit of report on the SEC, but that's not even business, I don't think, since there's nothing to be done on it. Old business, still haven't done anything with the welcome signs,
I think
the entryway signs.
we're kind of waiting for that to get done, the sign ordinance, and then we can,
Yeah, well, I think in the March meeting, I did say I would try to come up with some ideas on trying to integrate Journey Through Hallowed Grounds logo, if they have it, with stuff that we have. And I'm too busy thinking about the SEC, I guess, and how I wanted to, I totally forgot about it, so I didn't go any further with that. But other than that, that's the only old business we really have on the task list.
motion to adjourn?
Second.
I have a motion and a second to adjourn. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Close this meeting at 9 till 8.